lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with a few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us.
The drive-in theater
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's up, dudes? We're
Sup,
here.
dudes?
We're back. You're tuned into the Drive-In Speakerbox. It is Monday night. What a rainy, duty butt Monday. Like, this has been a terrible, terrible Monday. But we've got a case of the Mondays, but that does not mean we're going to stop. Hey, Vince. Shout outs to Vince up in Chicago. Already tuned in. It's been a rough day. We're sorry for the late start, but we've got stuff to talk about. We've got movies to talk about. It's what we do. I'm your host, the Boom Operator.
I'm the Grip.
And if you're just joining us for the first time over on Spotify or Tuned In or Google Podcast or Apple Music or whatever the hell they all changed their names to this time, we're going to be talking about movies. And we're gonna try and keep this one pretty quick. I think this is going to be a 45-minute episode. So set your clocks, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Because you've got to get to work. I've got to get to work. We got. It's just been a crazy one. Oh, what's up? Shout outs to McLean up in Richmond. Jealous of the sunshine out there, McLean. But today we've got two movies we're going to be reviewing. The newest movie in theaters.
Stuber.
We are going to be talking about Stuber. Well, the Grip's going to be talking about Stuber. He's caught that this weekend, and I got a chance. My prayers were answered. Last weekend, Child's Play was not in any theaters because they decided they wanted to re-release Avengers Endgame to try and get more money to topple Avatar so that they could get the #1 in the world box office bullcrap, which is not happening, by the way. They're $7 million short. And they're still not there. And everybody's like, let's rally and let's push it over the... No, let's not rally. Let it be. It doesn't deserve... You can't just, like, give it the consolation first place. You can't do that. Just let it be second. It's fine. Just come up with something else. But we're going to be talking about Child's Play. It came back in theaters this week, and I got a chance to check it out. So... yeah, we're going to be talking about that. We'll go over the news really quickly because we're short for time. But R.I.P. Rip Torn. Can we pour one out? I'm just going to pour one down. It's been that kind of day, so I'm going to just be hitting this little Tanqueray straight for Rip Torn. This is for you. I'm about to rip tear my liver. And, Zed, dude.
Yeah.
Zed's dead.
We just talked about how he was not in MIB International.
No, he's an RIP International.
Wow, dude.
What?
You can't do that.
Well, what is he gonna do? Fight me? Like, he's dead. He's gonna haunt me forever with that raspy, amazing voice. But yeah, Rip Torn leaving us. So shout outs to them. A good opportunity to watch Men in Black all over again, or any of his other movies. But
Freddy Got Fingered.
Well, that's not what's going to be on the top of my list, but you could finger it if you need to. And as Vince said in the comment section, he was legendary in the Larry Sanders Show, which is true. So pouring one out. Speaking of things that should die, not Rip Torn, but I don't know if you heard about this, but the Jack Reacher franchise, they're thinking about bringing it to television.
Hey man, the first Jack Reacher movie was sick.
Yeah, it was the John Wick of its time.
Yeah, it was very good.
The second one was utter garbage.
Never
like
go
wet,
back or whatever.
Moist, hot garbage. Like a diaper in a parking lot kind of garbage. It was really bad. But a TV series is not going to be any better, I don't think, because Tom Cruise is not going to be in it. And unless Tom Cruise is in it, just like rolling in going, I'm Jack Reacher and that phone's going to ring and I'm going to punch you in the beak, butthole, then it's not going to be cool.
Are you sure? I mean, it gives him a chance to be taller.
He is the Skee-Lo of Hollywood. always wishing, but I just don't think that this is a good idea. And they might do a Jack Ryan TV series as well, and a crossover.
Well, hey, that's doing great on its Amazon show.
Double Jacks, Jack Offs. That's
they could have it.
They could have a Jack Off.
Yeah, like
it's
the
Jack
Face Off
versus Jack.
Yeah,
and that's the Pornhub version. It's just called Jack Off.
No.
Yeah, dude. Every week it seems like it's just they hand us a new Pornhub movie. It just manifests like gifts from the heavens. Anyway, yeah.
I think it'd be sweet. I'll not the jack off thing, but the the Jack Reacher show.
A reach around. No, okay, all right, there we go. Let's see what else is in the news before we get into more masturbation jokes, which are probably inevitable. Man, there's just not a whole lot of stuff that doesn't center around garbage Marvel and garbage. There was something I wanted to... Oh, speaking of garbage. Flintstones! They're wanting us to meet the Flintstones again, but this time for adults. And I don't know if you've heard about this, but Seth MacFarlane, who normally I would just throw under the bus and say terrible, mean things about him.
But you've watched the Orville?
I have, and the Orville is so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good, and I'm so embarrassed that I love it.
I think he's been wanting to do the Flintstones thing for a long time, trying to revamp it and bring it back to like network TV.
Oh yeah. And the Pornhub version will just be a spinoff on Bam Bam, and yeah, okay. Thanks for the rim shot.
Yeah, there it is.
But anyway, Warner Brothers Animation.
Is that what they said in your movie?
Yes. Elizabeth Banks Brownstone Productions are teaming up, and Seth MacFarlane he might be involved, but his project failed back on Fox. So I don't know if they're going to shore these ropes up, but...
What was the science show that he did with Neil deGrasse Tyson? He did.
I do not recall that one.
Oh, it was the.
How many shows has Seth MacFarlane done?
A lot.
Just are they all?
They did the science miniseries. It was supposed to be like the revamp of the old one with Carl Sagan.
Cosmos.
Yeah,
a space-time odyssey.
So that's why he did Cosmos, was because they were supposed to allow him to do Flintstones for him doing that, but then they cut the project anyhow.
Hey, guess what? Hollywood cutthroat bullshit. What's new? Never trust anything that they say because it's always a lie. Like, remember when my favorite when we got to catch Hollywood in this crap was X-Men Wolverine Origins. Oh, man. That was so good. They're like, I know you've downloaded the pirated version, and
it's definitely different.
Definitely not the same. It's a completely different movie. It's so different. You guys just go to the theater. Please give us your money, and we promise you it'll be a completely different experience. It was the exact same movie. It was the
with one finished CGI shot
movie, and that's what the Marvel Studios was doing with Avengers Endgame. They're like, hey, guys, we're releasing it with never before seen footage, guys, and it was like 30 seconds on a 3-hour long movie.
Yeah, the trailers for the Endgame. Make sure you stick around after the credits. Like, yeah, idiot. We've seen a Marvel movie.
Now you don't have to. It's like, make sure you stick around after the credits to see an unfinished CGI render of Hulk eating a taco. And no lie, that was a real thing, and it's stupid. And why would you? Why would we push them up to the biggest movie in the world for that shit? Like, get out of here.
Because people would pay money for it.
At least invent a 3D camera or something. That's my point. I was getting in an argument online, which I don't normally do. But
you don't normally get into
I get in arguments
online,
in person. That's what I do. I'm like, look, face to face. We jack off.
What about those comment blocks that are like this long?
Those are not all the time, but no. Somebody was talking about like, let's Avengers Assemble. Let's go give them the 7 million and let's push them over the edge because Avatar was so stupid. And I was like, yeah, Avatar was stupid. And they're like, it was derivative and it was basically just like a white savior story. And I was like, yeah, yes, absolutely. But you know what? how much more derivative can you be than, hey, here's a comic book that was already written 100 billion times and done better in about 8 different formats, and let's just make a movie that's heartless and has no character or depth or plot or any sort of anything relevant to a story and call that better? Like, no, at least James Cameron tried something. He was trying to push the envelope. He invented new technology, invented new cameras. He basically reinvented the blockbuster.
James Cameron's so cool.
With a story that no one had ever heard of. It wasn't based off of a teen novel. It wasn't based off of a comic book. It wasn't based off of an 80s movie that was cool when we were kids.
Fern Gully. What are you talking about?
But it's not. But it was not Fern Gully, because there was no salamander voiced by Tone Loc that would come up and be, if I'm gonna eat somebody, might as well be you. Which is
I
also
totally
on
forgot
Pornhub.
about that portion of that movie until
it's
you said it.
the
Because it's like,
best.
oh, Robin Williams, and you have Tim Curry and all the good
And
stuff.
Tone Loc.
And I forgot about Tone Loc.
Was
in
James
that movie.
Woods? Was he the muck monster? Who was the muck monster? I can't.
Tim
remember.
Curry.
Oh, that was Tim Curry.
Yeah.
He's like, slime beneath me, slime up above.
Yeah. And he's like,
Ooh, my toxic love.
yeah, and that whole thing, he's like sucking on the pipes, and it's like real awkward.
Sucking on the pipes.
Yeah.
Toxic love. Oh, wait. Is that it right there? Oh, that's Tone Loc. Crank that up just a little bit.
Whatever happened to Tone Loc in movies, man? Surf Ninjas, Fern Gully.
Look, he was calling people
Those-
snacks back in the 90s. Dude, all my worst dates, I quoted this song, and I was like, if I'm gonna eat somebody, might as well be you.
Well, how long do we have until we have to cut this off? Like, that would suck if
I'm pretty sure the FCC gives no shits about that one.
about Tone Loc. They're
About-
like, who? Oh.
Yeah, you know, funny story, fun fact about
Oh, Blank Check. Yeah, was he was the cop in that, just like he was in
Blank Check. Was that the one where the little kid gets the checkbook and then like builds a roller coaster in his living room like every kid
Yeah.
did in the 90s?
and he had the Cerebro room like in X-Men, but it was like all those TVs, and they all had the different lines because he had to set up the different TVs with the chair that ejected him into the water slide for a quick escape.
Dude, remember when being a kid and having money used to be this idea of awesome? Like, kids these days are so not inventive. They're like, I'll have another Switch. And like, we were like, dude, water slide from my bedroom down into my Hot
From your
Wheels. and, like,
Cerebro
dude,
TV
awesome.
video game room.
It used to be so cool.
And also,
being
he
a
was
kid.
like flirting with the realtor lady. He's like, see,
Dude,
there it
there it
is.
is.
Yes, because
Dude,
I was
I want a CRT TV wall, just like every bad guy in a 90s like future sci-fi movie. It was like, you know, like in Virtuosity or in Tango and Cash, and they'd all like stand in front of this big ass screen and be like for no reason. And what a symbol of power. Like, because if you think about it, CRTs, you can't just. There was probably like 8 feet of depth behind there for all the
they
tubes
were crazy heavy.
and like a welded frame to keep. That was probably $1 trillion to build that.
Yeah, but he only wrote the check for like $100,000, and
Inflation, bro.
He spent it like it was $5 billion because
in the
kids' movie.
90s, that was money, man. Look at Trump. Thanks, Obama. I don't know. We're gonna blame presidents that weren't in the 90s. Anyway, so yeah. One more bit of news before we actually start talking about movies that came out this weekend. Did you hear about the Cuphead TV show that's coming to Netflix? Did you hear
No,
about
I
that?
don't like that. Is it going to be as hard to watch as it is hard to play?
I don't know. It's just going to be constant death and frustration.
I did see that they are planning on releasing DLC for Cuphead or like a second game, but most likely DLC.
Well, yeah,
but
because that's where the money's at. Why
Right.
develop new products when you can microtransact?
That's just the thing. The team behind the development, it's taken so long from the game release because they're like, oh, no, we want it to be quality and we don't want to charge you for a portion of the game that you should have already had
Here's
to
to
begin
them.
with the first purchase. And they're not like going to lower quality or anything like that. So they actually extended their deadline. And they're like, sorry about the delayed release, but we want you to have something worth paying money for instead of being like, oh, it's DLC, that's $40. I should have had it in the first place. Whatever, dude.
Yep.
So good job, Cuphead team. Except for this TV show, I don't know about that.
As Johnny Dalton said over on YouTube, he said they should do a Contra crossover. It'd be like Contra versus Cuphead, or a team
versus
up,
Metal Slug,
or a team up. Like was it like G.I. Joe and I know G.I. Joe and Cobra teamed up, but there's any like crossover like G.I. Joe and Transformers? Did they ever meet, or like Ninja Turtles and somebody else?
Double Dragon and Battletoads.
Anyway. Yeah, they did. Well, all right. Well, anyway, that's happening. So,
here, before you get too far away from the news, guess what I found out this weekend?
What?
A movie that you're not excited about and totally hate, Hobbs and Shaw. I turned on the TV and they were showing Fast and Furious. I was like, well, this is what I'm watching. And they had interviews with the actors and directors and stuff. It's being directed by David Leitch, man.
Oh, boy.
John Wick. Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2.
You want to give him a trophy for
bro,
taking that paycheck? Like, come on. Like, in the words of Dave Bautista, I only do good movies. Yeah. Like,
dude, I'm so excited about Hobbs
I
and
only
Shaw.
let you have these Fast and the Furious cars on the background because
let me.
I allow it.
Mm-hmm.
I allow it.
Okay.
Anyway, Hobbs and Shaw. When is that coming out?
August 12th.
Yeah, I like how you didn't even have to look at anything. You're just like, August 12th, bro. I tattooed it on my eyelids so I could
whatever. Y'all are going to be
a greased up, sweaty Dwayne Johnson visiting me in the night and being like, "Do you smell what I'm cooking, Grip?"
We just got a weird insight into your life, bro.
Into your life?
How's that into my life?
Hey, man, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've seen your shrine to Dwayne Johnson. Like you can deny it all you want on the air, but I'm gonna let them know.
I was gonna say I only
there.
had like one Rock T-shirt and it had Mankind on it, but I remember I bought another Rock shirt the other day.
And that candle and the little effigy that you built like over there next to your stove. You remember? Like you can deny it all you want, but it's there, and it's back when he used to have.
What are you gonna do when it takes over Avatar's spot as like #1 movie of all time?
Gonna revolt in the streets.
Look up the top 10 movies. How many of them are Fast and Furious?
Not gonna do it.
At least one or two.
Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna use my technology for that.
Keep talking about Avengers and Avatar. Fast and Furious holds like 2 spots in the top 10 movies.
Oh man. Vince over on YouTube asks if that is a Mum-Ra shirt. That is not a Mum-Ra shirt.
Not.
Good guess from Thundercats.
It's Thulsa Doom.
Thulsa Doom from.
It's 2 snakes over a black sun.
Like this.
They coming together.
It was a Christmas gift that I gave Grip one year.
And you had a matching one
did.
So that we could be like Thorgrim and Rexar.
Yeah. But mine's gone.
The acolytes of Thulsa Doom.
Heck yeah, dude. Dude, the riddle of steel. No one needs the riddle of steel.
Yeah.
The answer, it's flesh. It's the hand that wields the sword that has power. Anyway.
Too bad Conan doesn't have like a cool good guy symbol that makes a sweet T-shirt.
Dude, because the bad guy symbol's way cooler. Because you can be like, I am the wellspring of which you flow.
You know what, though? Kevin Sorbo is going to be...
In Kevin Sorbo news.
Going to be near us. You talked about it last week, bro.
Yeah.
So Kevin Sorbo is going to be near us. I could always wear this to meet him because he was Kull the Conqueror, and Thulsa Doom was actually a Kull the Conqueror villain, but they recast Thulsa Doom to be a Conan villain because James Earl Jones was taller than Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they needed people that made you think that he was actually threatened. There it is.
Also, man, you remember that photo from Conan the Destroyer where Arnold's standing next to Wilt Chamberlain and Andre the Giant and looks like a baby?
You mean where the two of them are holding him up and he has arms linked with them and they have him off the ground and his head is shorter than theirs and his feet is off the ground? So even with them standing flat-footed and holding him in the air, he's still not as tall as them?
Yeah. Good times. Let's tell you what movies are coming out this weekend because it's about that time of the show because we are running low on time overall. But this is the point in the show where we tell you what is coming out in theaters this weekend. So we usually only report on wide releases or what is called expanded releases. Expanded releases, for those of you that are new, there's a handful of there's like 4 different tiers. There's LA, New York, there's limited, there's expanded, and then there's wide. And limited is usually under 250, expanded's under 800 to 500, and then wide is 1500 and up. But there's only one big movie that's coming out in theaters nationwide. I mean, there's a David Crosby documentary that's coming out, but I don't think that's going to get anywhere that you're going to see it, and you're probably not going to see it anyway because it's not made by Disney, and which leads me to what is coming out this weekend, because we just don't have enough Disney movies in theaters right now. I mean, Spider-Man, produced by Marvel, Avengers getting re-released, Aladdin still, for whatever reason, not out of the theaters yet.
Toy
Story 4 is still in there. And guess what? We need some more Circle of Life. And so we got Lion King, a movie that we've all seen 1,000 times and probably better animated.
And the play, the gigantic
the Broadway
play.
hit musical. And, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, they're like, whoever would we get to play Timon and Pumbaa? I'm like, all these people are still alive. Like,
Dude,
cast them.
So have you seen the scene that's released of Timon and Pumbaa where they find Simba being gnawed on by buzzards?
Yes.
It's not good.
No.
It's very flat, and it's
I
poorly
need
done.
Nathan Lane.
Yeah, why not Nathan Lane?
Get him back.
He should definitely be.
Like, we'll cast
Timon.
Donald Glover because the millennials think he's cool. And it's like, yeah, this is America, Donald Glover, taking that paycheck from Disney. Your song has no more credit. You're a part of the problem now, Donald.
JTT
Looking
is
at
still
you,
alive.
bro.
Why would you not? Matthew Broderick's still alive?
Yeah, and kicking. Not like Rip Torn, who's about to
Wow,
die.
don't.
And that's why they didn't cast him in Men in Black. All these people are still functional. And all you got to do is sit in a chair in front of a mic like us. Look, we're not in the pinnacle of health, and we're doing it. And,
Wow, thanks, bro. They recast James Earl Jones as James Earl Jones. Why couldn't they? No.
Because
Nathan
you
Lane
have to.
Should have definitely been Timon again.
Well, you have to only cast James Earl Jones because he only has like 3 lines. This is CNN. You remember the Simpsons, the cloud thing? Well, no, probably I'm older than everyone. But yeah, James Earl Jones, man. 3 lines. That's it. And he's the closest to dead out of all the people that we listed.
Yeah, but they still could have recast everybody.
No, we need Seth Rogen and Beyonce and Donald Glover. And it's like...
Yeah, no, Seth Rogen as Pumbaa is not good.
Seth Rogen is not good. Battle in the Streets. I'll win. Seth Rogen, not good. Name.
Battle in the Streets. Is this like
what's your
us
favorite?
just standing in the streets yelling at each other, or is it like fist fight? Because there's one that I would definitely win.
I don't know. Can we use our surroundings?
Yeah, sure.
I'm adaptive AF.
Carrot Top as Mufasa would have been great.
Level 13 rogue, like we said. I take down the giant, just not with my fists.
Cheech and Whoopi Goldberg are still alive. They could do the guy that voices Winnie the Pooh is still alive. He could do the tonguey hyena.
Bother.
Well, he's the
Rafiki.
one. He's the one that does the hyena Ed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's like Mr. Disney. He voices tons of Disney characters.
Well, all I'm saying is unnecessary. I've heard some early reviews saying that it's the Lion King. Yep.
Have you seen all the products they've released in stores for it?
No.
It's all animated movie stuff. It's not live action.
Yeah, because that's the easiest to make a toy from. Like, and
maybe that's why they made it. They had too many toys sitting around. They're like, we really got to do something.
It's gonna make a shitload of money. It will, I promise. And everyone's gonna go, see, according to Worthington's law, it makes all this money. Therefore, it is better than and worth praise. And no, it was a cash grab. It is the KFC Cheetos chicken sandwich of movies, and we don't need it. It's there. Somebody thought it'd be funny to do, and we knew that everybody was gonna fucking pay for it.
Yeah, like we did.
Yeah, like I did, and I did it.
Too.
I know I'm a part of the problem.
I went as far as getting the big box where you got.
So did I.
Yeah, they were awful.
They were.
It was those potato wedges though.
Yeah, those JoJo's slapped.
Yeah. Yeah. But like the popcorn nuggets,
they were just.
It was like
crispy batter, and that's it.
It was like somebody
forgot
Cheetos,
to put chicken in there,
and they ate it and took like a swig of water, swished it around, and dribbled it onto your chicken, and they're like, "Here's your KFC," and you're like,
And I like KFC, but it was bad. We'll talk about that's a different podcast altogether. It's like booming the grip, go and get fatter, so and more depressed.
Eat gimmick food from
we get sadder so you can laugh. But anyway, Lion King, we're all gonna forget about it. It's just like the Jungle Book. When everyone's like, "Nah, dude, this is what we need. This is what we deserve as a people because animation's dead, bro. Get with the 21st century." CGI all the way. Does anyone even remember that movie? No one remembers the CGI live action Jungle Book that they did because it was shit.
I do, but it was because of how bad it was.
It was
because of how bad it was, and we both hated it.
Yeah. The only parts
with
that
Christopher
you remember,
Walken, King Louis,
you remember it because he's singing the song that you already love,
but not well.
Yeah. He needed to do that, that Fat Boy Slim video that he did, where it's like, boom, 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 and just like King Louis, and he's swinging around in a shopping mall or whatever. You guys remember that video?
No, I definitely do. Yeah, he's in the suit and he's just.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Nobody remembers.
Here's a specific detail about that music video. You're like, whatever,
nobody knows but me. All right, well, Lion King's coming out in theaters this week, so you can check it out like everyone else is going to. So there you go.
I'll probably be one of those everyone else just because have to.
Hey, we have an excuse. It's our job, so that's why.
Is it public domain? Is that why they're doing this? Because it's like old enough that they don't have to pay the original song authors and writers and things like that.
About Lion King?
Yeah, man.
No, it's Disney. They own the rights. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
forever.
They don't have to pay out any of the people that had done it originally.
No, because corporate. They were just like, bro, we own you, and just like Stan Lee. You know,
they're like, well, just sign right here. Okay, your intellectual property is ours, and you make nothing
forever. Thanks, idiot. So
even though Lion King is just Shakespeare, anyhow,
basically some Hamlet biz. Anyway, all right. Well, let's talk about movies. Let's talk about reviews. Let's talk about movies that are in theaters that you can see and don't have to figure out how to wax nostalgic with us about them. You can go literally buy a ticket. We're going to talk about Child's Play first because it's been out the longest. It's been out for about 4 or 5 weeks in box office. And this is it's a remake. It's not a sequel, not a prequel, not a whatever. And it's not. I wouldn't even call it a reboot either. It's a reimagining, and I'm gonna give you the one sentence. I liked it. I had a really good time watching this movie, and I'm going to tell you why. I read a lot of reviews because this movie, and normally don't read reviews until after I've seen a movie because everyone's stupid. But I was reading reviews about this one, and everybody was polarized. And the one thing that I kept seeing often come up, and this is something I've talked about a lot on the show that drives me nuts. It's like Washington Post, Variety, Huffington Post, The Guardian, like all of this stuff. Then even the New Yorker, they're like, oh, these are trusted sources of journalism. Well, they're all being written by 21-year-old interns now. And 21-year-olds are stupid. Like all of you out there, you're an idiot, all of you. Like Wikipedia is not a source. Reading someone else's review is not a source. Like sitting down and watching. The reason why I think people tune into this show, and the reason I hope that you tell your friends about it, is we've wasted a vast majority of our life to get this knowledge so that we can interpret it for free for you because we're broken somehow and we think that this is fun. And we spent countless hours watching good and bad things. Like a lot of people that review movies nowadays, they're like, oh, I have to go write a review of Child's Play. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to read the Ebert review that came out in, 1988. I'm not actually going to sit down and watch it because I waited to the last minute to write this review because I'm a millennial and I'm not going to actually sit down and spend 2 hours on figuring out what cultural relevance means, or historical context. And so they're just going to regurgitate shit that they read in other websites. And if you understand content, especially movies, it's really easy to pick out these people that have no clue what they're talking about, but they are paid to write an article. And so many of the bad reviews about this movie are people that have obviously never seen or know anything about the Child's Play franchise, especially the first one. And so one of the big negative reviews I read, it's like, well, I mean, the doll I just couldn't take the doll seriously, man. And it like wasn't scary at all. And I'm like, bitch, this ain't The Conjuring. It's about a murderous doll. It's a Child's Play thing, not Annabelle. Chucky's hilarious. Chucky is goofy. Chucky is not scary. He never was. He was never supposed to be.
He's a my buddy with a bad hairdo.
And
right?
And but he's also he was a platform for what was really popular in the late 80s and early 90s in horror. Inventive deaths. That is not gore porn. There was a difference. Like when the Hostel movies and the Saw movies started to come out in the late 90s, early 2000s, it changed horror. And gore porn was like, how realistic can we get this? Yeah, as Vince said, Leprechaun is not supposed to be scary. No, it's fun. It's funny. It's a horror comedy. But back then they didn't have...
Especially when they have him start smoking weed all the time.
Yes. It's not scary. And it's not supposed... You're supposed to laugh with your friends. You're supposed to... What the hell
What
is
are
this?
we looking at?
That is...
You can't put that on...
That's gore... No.
You can't do that.
Wrong kind of... Safe search on. Our producers here are trying to get us banned.
Yeah, that's...
Like, we're going to get flagged on Facebook for that frame. We're the... Anyway, but those movies, what they did was, it was how hyper-realistic can we make these murders to instill fear in the viewers? Because horror always reflects a lot of current and fears of the time. But in the
what, Leprechaun, everyone gets murdered.
Well, that was the exception to the rule. In the mid to late 80s, they made horror just for fun, like just to be silly and make monsters. That's why all the best goofy camp horror movies came out in the late 80s, is because they just shot for the rafters, not in a Sharknado kind of way, but in a way that was just fun and a psychopathic sort of soul in a doll, he becomes a sentient AI. And what makes him and the idea,
like Small Soldiers,
a little bit like Small Soldiers, yeah. And what made it kind of interesting to me is this is the first time in a Child's Play movie where Chucky was sympathetic in certain ways, because he was a product of his own environment. So instead of actually being a psychopath, he really, really, really wanted to be best friends with Andy. And Andy's sitting around watching horror movies with his friends, and he's getting bullied, and he's seeing all this stuff that's happening in our real world, and he's turning it into, is this what humans like? And then he takes that information and goes, well, this is what you do. This is what you like. And I want to be your friend. I want to do what you're every bit of information is telling me that humans are awful, and he starts murdering people. And then he has this weird little existential moment where he's getting opened up, and he's in pain, and you kind of feel bad for him because he didn't ask to be brought into this world, unlike the original Chucky, who you can automatically hate because he's a psychopath. This one is a product of his environment, and I thought that was a really interesting take. And then, of course, you add the voice talent of the one and only Mark Hamill, and it was really fun. The deaths were fun. The characters were fun. It included diversity and women's empowerment in a way that wasn't stupid and heavy-handed like everything that Disney's doing right now. It's going, hey, stop the movie. Want to let you know that we've got strong female characters and also a disabled person. Like, that is so fucking wrong, and just let it happen naturally. Just let it be, because that's how the world is. Just show us realistic like images of diversity and inclusion, instead of like putting it on a pedestal and going, please don't tweet about how bad we are, because we're making a really bad attempt to do what you think that we should be doing, but we don't know how naturally. Just like when all the Avengers said, stop, Thanos, only the girls can fight. Let's show them what the girls can do. Right, girls? We're strong. Like that, I almost left the theater.
So bad.
Because it was unnecessary and it was unrealistic. Yeah, we all know they're badasses, and we all accept them as badasses. Let them be badasses. Don't do that, because to me that is even worse. And Child's Play did all that stuff kind of deftly and in a way that was campy and fun and cheesy. And I'm really sad that no one was seeing this movie. It got shouldered out by all the other Marvel movies. And it's fun. It's good. It is a good horror movie to catch in the theaters. Bam. Did you guys all lose audio at that same point too, or just video?
It was a small portion.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry. The audio will still be there if you want to check out the podcast.
We're getting kicked off streaming already.
It was because of the gore porn image. Thanks, guys. Your fault. But anyway, Child's Play, it might only be in theaters this last weekend. So if you like old 80s camp, if you like fun, like tongue-in-cheek horror, it's fun. And the Buddy song is really catchy. I was humming it all night.
Mark Hamill sing it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Andy, I want to be your best friend. Your best friend. Like, it was creepy and it was fun. But I recommend it. So anyway, Child's Play, it's in theaters. You can check it out if you want. If you're not into horror like this guy, you're probably going to go watch Stuber like this guy. So tell us about Stuber.
So Stuber is a buddy cop comedy movie, because that's original.
Because we haven't seen one of those before.
Kind of like it was done.
Let me guess. Big, strong muscle head with small, weaselly loudmouth.
Yeah, like movies like Cop and a Half or Ride Along.
Anything with Kevin Hart in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you get your normal, it's an R-rated comedy, buddy cop drama, comedy type movie. But, I mean, in short, it works because it's a little different. You got Blue Tista, the animal, one of the members of Evolution, Big Dave, carrying a movie, and he does it. He pulls it off. You're able to see Dave Bautista be
with weird hair. What's with his hair?
Comedy actor.
Can we talk about Dave Bautista's hair? Can we Google Dave Bautista's hair?
I mean, go to.
Can we get it's kind of like what's her name?
Go to any wrestling page like 4 or 5 years ago and look it up, because when Batista made his return to WWE, he had hair, and it was weird because people hadn't seen him with hair since he looked like top left, second one over. Not that one. That one. So that's old original Batista hair, and then he was bald after that for a long time.
So Dave Bautista hair. Let's close that photo. Ooh, gross.
That's from Kickboxer.
No, go back. We need more. We need more to close that though, because that's disgusting.
Look at him with the long hair when he was a bouncer.
Scroll down.
Pre-wrestling.
Okay, so go down 2 and right 1, where it's just like the side of him showing his hair plugs. All right, we've already scrolled past it. Well, anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is Dave Bautista, I feel like at any point is going to go, I'm not just the president. I'm also a member. And like, it's like hair club for men. It's like really bad hair plugs, you know. And you're not fooling anybody, Dave. Like that's ball hair, like on your skull. Like that is not like scalp hair. And if we could just be okay, we accept you the way you are. You're beautiful just the way you are, Dave. And you don't need to graft pubes on your head.
He walks alone.
And you don't need to do it.
Batista walks alone.
He doesn't need hair. See, Vince knows what I'm talking about. Also a client. And you know, I mean, here's the deal with this movie is Dave Batista. I like Dave Batista. And I like Kumail Nanjiani. But is this movie good?
Yeah, actually, it was pretty okay. I mean, it's your normal buddy cop movie, but I don't know, man. Kumail Nanjiani was actually the least funny portion of the whole thing.
But he's the comic relief.
No, dude, Batista is.
The straight man?
Yeah. He has all like the funny bits. He gets to be the funny guy. And Jimmy Tatro is in it, and he's really good.
I do like Jimmy Tatro.
Dude,
like,
if you've never seen American Vandal on
Netflix. What a
Netflix.
YouTube success story. That dude is a true American YouTube success story.
Yeah.
Made funny YouTube videos in movies with Dave Batista now.
Yeah. American Vandal
has
on
his own
Netflix is really good. So watch that. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just your basic.
Sounds pretty paint by numbers, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time. It's 90 minutes long. It's a comedy, buddy cop. There's a dick in it or whatever. R-rated.
Excuse me? It shows like, was somebody a jerk, or what did it like show a pecker?
No, dude, it's rated R, so like there has to be penis out in the open.
An actual pecker out in the open.
So I mean, there's parts like that where you're like, okay, we get it. It's a movie, R-rated. You gotta do whatever, but
just dangle a pecker because they're funny, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you like movies like Cops and Robertsons or Cop and a Half or
Cops and Copper Cops,
K9, what's that one?
Lethal Weapon,
Jim Belushi. Yeah, stuff like that.
Is it
Tango and Cash?
Well, dude, don't compare it to the Grapes. I haven't seen it yet. Tango and Cash, guys, American classic. Why didn't we get 3 Tangos and Cashes instead of 3 Lethal Weapons? Was there a Lethal Weapon 4?
Yes.
I forgot about it. Is that the one with Jet Li?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Why didn't we get Tango and
What's
Cash?
What's the third one?
That's the one I have the pinball machine from. I don't know what happens in it, but pinball maybe? CNC Music Factory, probably. ZZ Top, most likely.
The second one is the one where they they fight in the house as it's being driven down the highway.
Is that the one with the armor-piercing bullets, the cop killers that Danny Glover was like.
Is it the one with the weird embassy people?
I don't know. It's all every 80s trope. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's all some bad guys.
Yeah. But
right. So
Stuber, not much to it. It's funny, but there's nothing that's going to be new. There's no breaking ground to it. I mean, it's all very straightforward. You know what you're in for if you're going to watch it, but it does it well enough that you're not sitting there like seen it before. Vince
said that Lethal Weapon 3 was the first one with Leo Getz. I thought he had made his appearance in 2.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been talking a lot about in the chat comments.
3 is the one where the where
don't make me Google it. I don't like Googling while we're on the air.
Oh.
I don't like doing
Mel Gibson starts to date or gets married to the international or the internal affairs.
Yeah, the chick
person.
Yeah, what's her name?
How did this turn into us being like
just Googling Lethal Weapon?
Which Lethal Weapon is which?
Yeah, no, it's Rene Russo. He meets Rene Russo. Yeah, Joe Pesci's in it. I don't know. Who cares? That movie's not in theaters. You can't see it. Stuber.
Too bad, huh?
You can go to Pinpoint and play the Lethal Weapon 3 pinball machine. Boom. Yeah. How about that? Catch me there.
Yeah, anyway. Turner and Hooch. Yeah.
All good
I mean, you
things.
get it. Nothing new, but it's fun. And it's Batista's actually pretty good in the movie, so.
Oh. Well, all right, Dave Bautista. Look at you making movies. He's the new household name. He's now that everybody loves him from being the same character that he is in every single movie from Guardians of the Galaxy, that solidified his typecast archetype to where he's like, I'm big and brawny. I'm going to say something kind of stupid, but also funny. And
there's a bit of that, but you get more of a character out of him in this than you do Drax, for sure.
It's
so.
all Crocodile Dundee when it comes down to it. Like every bit of this shtick, that just like Dave Bautista and just like, some of these other people, it's like, I'm a big freaking fish out of water. Watch me try to clumsily do a thing. And it's funny because I don't fit here. And
yeah, but Paul Hogan's.
He invented the game. I'm just saying. He's the dude. All right. You want to wrap it up? You want to do the thing? I'm still soaking wet. I was out in the rain. I'm still damp. I'm still wet. I'm still damp. I need to dry. I drank several shots of gin in the course of this podcast. So, no more booze. Look at these cheeks. We got to wrap it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to do the box office roundup like we always do. We're going to give you the top 10 movies in America, what they made, and kind of domestic totals. That's what we do. You can take this information. You can play Fantasy Movie League. We used to have a league until one of our viewers, Dina, made it not fun.
We were right. He was in too.
Boom. Hey, look at that. That's why we host the show and not you, Vince.
It's because he's like part of the family by the time they get to 4.
Yeah. And they're like, invite him over, even though we hate him. He's like, okay. Yeah, so Fantasy Movie League, I got to give shout-outs where shout-outs are due. But one of our viewers, a regular viewer, I think she was in the comments on Facebook earlier, Dina, she is like in the top 20 players in the country on Fantasy Movie League.
Yeah, because every time we would try...
She just stomp our butts in the dirt. Yeah. We had a drive-in Speakerbox League, and we're like, this will be fun for our viewers to play. And she's like, yes! And she like Super Saiyan 9000 and like apparently is one of the best players in the world. And which makes it not fun when you just want to like click some freaking movies and be like, hey... Who won our fantasy league? And it's like Dina every time. Dina. But shout outs to Dina for really doing a good job and ruining our league. But
for just kicking our asses every single week and being like, well, actually, if you plug it into the algorithm about how movies work and the way that people think about things and the trailers issued and everything, this is the number one movie for the next 3 weeks. And then she was always right.
Always right. I don't know how she does it. But anyway, we're going to give you those numbers. So here we go. Top 10 movies in America. Number 10, Men in Black International. Somehow still in the top 10 from Sony, bringing in $2.2 million in its 5th week in release, bringing in $110 million budget. Bringing in $76 million domestically up against a $110 million budget. Not doing very well domestically. That's probably going to be the end of the Men in Black franchise as we know it, because that seems like a little bit of a coffin nail. It's worth mentioning, number 11, Avengers Endgame from Buena Vista, only bringing in $2.1 million in the box office, not quite getting up to the 470 trillion billion space bucks that it needs to beat Avatar with. But here's the funny thing. They've put it in theaters for 12 weeks, and they're still trying to get it there. That's cheating. You can't do that. You go, well, we're going to bend the rules so that we take the number one spot because apparently number one box office is the only thing that actually matters when making movies, not like engaging stories or whether or not people are going to remember this in more than a day or whether it's going to touch a generation or shape a culture or what, will have a message or have endearing characters or leave its lasting effects on childhood development. No, it's just like cash money all the time, and that's what I got for you, Disney. I'm not going to say it on the radio, but there's a hand symbol. Number 9, Secret Life of Pets 2 from Universal, bringing in $3.2 million. In its 6th week in release, a budget of $80 million has brought it in $147 million. Take that, Men in Black. Which, wow. Good job.
There's your Kevin Hart movie.
There it is. Kevin Hart dressed as a superhero bunny, screaming at things as he do. Number 8, Midsummer, which if you want to hear us talk about that was on our last week's episode. You can catch those on Facebook.com/thedriving-speakerbox or YouTube.com/thedriving-speakerbox, or search for the Driving Speakerbox on Spotify, Google, Apple, whatever the hell that you download your MP3 podcasts to. There you go. It made... Oh, you have a finger up.
Well, because Vince asked us a question about movie subscription services and be a reason for ticket sales not being as high. But I think anytime you go to a movie, it still counts as average price ticket sale for that film, whatever it might be in that area or whatnot. So I don't think that would attribute to it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not going to count against that film for you going. If anything, it's like, this
still
is
butts and seats.
This is what worked for our theaters, and this is how many people saw that movie.
AMC still has to pay for that seat. They just because they're showing it and say we both have A-list, and I had Movie Pass for a long time, and those seats. You're not paying AMC really. AMC is the middleman for the production studio, so the money goes to Disney, and they take a little tiny cut, and they're like, "Please buy popcorn and drinks."
Ticket sales don't go to the theater,
yeah,
at all. It's all concession.
Yep. That's like 4 or 5%. It's something stupid. They don't get to keep hardly anything. Midsummer, $3.6 million in its second week of release, bringing it up to $18.5 million. You can check out our review on last week's episode. Number 7, Annabelle Comes Home from Warner Brothers, bringing in $5.6 million in its third week in release, bringing it up to $60 million at the box office. That movie can suck it.
I didn't even think about that. Child's Play, Annabelle, and Toy Story all being in the theater at the same time.
Oh my God. All dolls coming to life, doing things without you watching. Nefarious, evil things. And 2 of them have Andys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they both want to be your best friend. Let's see. Number 6, Aladdin, still in theaters from Disney, bringing in $6.1 million in its 8th week. 8 weeks still out there. $183 million budget, brought in $331 million. Apparently, one of the wishes you can still wish for is money. And Disney rubbed that lamp the right way. Even though I thought that one of the wishes that you couldn't do was bring things back from the dead, but they've been doing it consistently. So I don't know how they broke that wish. But they did it. So anyway, number 6. Number 5, Yesterday from Universal, which we reviewed yesterday? Last week? Or was that the week before?
I saw it the first week it was out.
Oh, so 2 weeks ago. You can check out our review on that one. From Universal, bringing in $6.7 million in its third week in release. $26 million budget has brought in $48 million domestically. Number 4, opening at the number 4 spot is Stuber from Fox, bringing in $8.2 million in its opening weekend. That's 8.2. Ooh, that's not a very good. Yeah.
That's a lot of advertising to open up
at number 4. But look at what it's up against. I mean, this is kind of surprising that this movie managed to land at the number 3 spot above Stuber, and that's Crawl from Paramount. And I've actually heard some good things. And
I didn't see anything about this movie until last week. I was like, what? Crocodile movie, and then it was there.
Oh, Alexander Aja and Sam Raimi partnering up. What? It's not a Blumhouse picture, which I thought for sure it would be. But those 2 guys, I really like their work. And this movie looks so brainless. But apparently it's working. So $12 million it brought in at the box office against a $13.5 million budget. So it's fine, you guys. It's done. They did it. They made it. It's great. Everything else is gravy. Number 2, Toy Story 4 from Buena Vista, bringing in $20.9 million in its 4th week. That is a monster 4th week. Bringing in $346 million at the box office. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And if you want to catch our review of that, you can rewind 4 weeks ago when it was new in theaters, and you can check that one out on our podcast. Number 1 from Sony and Disney, because they partnered. I don't know. I was talking to somebody online. They were like, I don't like this movie. I wish they would have given the rights back to Sony. Just give it back to Marvel. And it's like, well, they did. Marvel had full 100% Kevin produced creative control over this movie with a partnership deal that they made with Sony. And here's the deal. The deal was Marvel came to Sony and said, all right, listen, you got Spider-Man. We want him. We need him to be the next Avenger because no one cares about any of our other characters except Iron Man. And now he got out of it a contract. I mean, his character died. And we need another good character, so it has to be Spider-Man. Guess what? Here's the deal. Let us make Spider-Man Far From Home, whatever the home title game they're going to be playing for the next 5 movies. And if this movie doesn't make $1 billion worldwide, you can have Spider-Man back. You can have him. We're done with him because a character doesn't have any value to us unless he makes money. Doesn't matter if people like him, if he's an icon for people all across the planet, if his story is one of the coolest, best, most told comic book tales of ever. We don't care unless he makes $1 billion, and then he's garbage to us. And so that's the plan. So if Spider-Man Far From Home does not make $1 billion, then it just falls back into Sony, and we get more Topher Grace, and we get more all of that crap. So anyway, it made $45 million this weekend in its second weekend release. $160 million budget has brought in $274 million domestically. Worldwide, since it's relevant here, $572 million in the foreign market, bringing its worldwide gross up to $847 million. So it is almost there, but not quite. It's so close. It's so close. So close to being in Marvel control forever. So there you go. That's the number 1 movie in America. And guess what? The number 1 movie in America next week is going to be Lion King from Buena Vista. The number 2 movie in America is going to be Toy Story. The number 3, or Spider-Man. The number 3 is going to be Toy Story. It's all going to be Disney. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Disney movies out of 10 in the top. That's Monopoly much? I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to be a Disney movie.
Yeah. So anyway, there you have it, guys. That's it. And that's all. We got our 2 movies. We did a little bit of news. We told you what's coming out. We told you the box office. And we wrapped it up in a nice little 40-minute package, just like we said we would. How about that? Look at that. All right. So, Creepshow. One of our Facebook viewers, David, said Creeps How coming to TV, but I know what he means. Creepshow. They're adapting it for television. That is very true, and I can't wait for that.
Muppet movie.
Vince said Fathom Events July 15, the Muppet movie, although it's not Muppet Treasure Island, which is my favorite. And then mid-October is going to be Alien. That one I am looking for, but that's a long way off. That's October. But Creepshow is going to be really fun. I think that's going to be... Black Mirror can suck it. It can jack off if you fast forward or rewind back to the first hour. But Creepshow is where it's at. If you've never seen those movies, Creepshow 1 and Creepshow 2, it is a great horror anthology, tongue-in-cheek, fun horror comedy. Stephen King, I think, makes a cameo in both of them, and pretty fun. Thanks for the ride, lady. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
Don't look at me. I don't watch.
It's like Twilight Zone, but edgier and more fun.
So creepy.
But creepy.
I don't like creepy things.
You would like Creepshow. Creepshow's funny.
Is it like Tales from the Crypt?
Yes.
Is it like
Yes.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like those. Those are creepy.
Tales from the Crypt? Tales from the Crypt.
I watched Bolero of Blood.
Bordello of Blood?
Yeah.
That one was good.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what was better was Demon Knight because Billy Zane.
Is that the one that you can get on the double feature DVD?
Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight was their first feature-length film, and the Bordello of Blood was the sequel that had Corey Feldman in it. And
no, dude, it had...
Yeah, Corey Feldman was in it?
Yeah, but it was...
That's the only person that matters.
No, the main character. He did...
Corey Feldman.
No, dude. He did a Weekend Update on SNL.
Oh, yeah, we don't know.
What's his name? He was the main character.
It's not Corey Feldman, though. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you need to... Bordello of Blood. All right, I'm gonna use the internet. Dennis Miller.
There it is.
Oh, the guy who's, you know what this is like? It's like this reference plus this reference followed by this reference. Yeah, he kind of made that formula pretty popular. But no, Demon Knight is the far superior of the two creatures, Tales from the Crypt movies. Fight me. It's a fact. Billy Zane forever. All right, well, that's our show. We're going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to be back next Monday, same time, 8 o'clock, Monday nights. And subscribe, facebook.com, youtube.com/Driving Speakerbox, all of the social medias, Boom Operator on Twitter, all of the things. There's comments already coming in. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in live. And we will see you guys next week. Grip, anything? That's it. All right.
That's it.
Splash screen.